Hello, this is Steven Park, and I'm gonna tell you the today's news I read. And I actually uploaded a video, and I checked the audio and those, and I made a video. But then once it was made, I guess the audio evaporated, and thankfully somebody kindly let me know that there's an audio, so I made a new video. I appreciate it. Anyway, so the beginning is about the scooter. This is electronic scooter which is popular everywhere, which is also popular in South Korea. And the problem is that, like still so far, there hasn't been any requirement or regulation. So people who are over 13 years old, they can drive it without the license. But from the 13th, it's going to be different. So they need a license, and also they need a like protection gear like helmet and stuff. And if they don't, they get a fine ticket, like $100 for the non-license and $20 for the like without protection, like US dollars. And if more than two people ride on the same scooter, then it's about $40. So people need to be more cautious and careful. Yeah. And the 층간소음 is like a between floor noise is a huge problem in South Korea. I mean, it's a problem for, in anywhere, but it's been a quite a difficulties, especially a lot of people stay indoor, and people also work at home. So there's a regulation by government that it should be 120 to 180 since like 1999 till 2008. And since 2009, because this didn't work at all, they made it almost like a double, so 210 millimeters between the floors. But it hasn't been working very well. Indeed, you can kind of talk to the neighbors, like without much problem in some cases. So not only the government, also those companies are trying to investigate how to make better materials, also more eco-friendly, so that people can live without much stress. And that's also better for those company image and marketing, because with that, they can attract more consumers, basically. So I hope it works well, so people can live without much stress and not bothered by other people with the noise. And it's been a pretty a huge problem actually. Like there's some murder cases with that. There's a lot of conflicts, a lot of like fighting and those. So I hope it works well. And the last one is about the main one, the renting. So in Korea, there is a one called the 전세. So basically, the more you pay the deposit, the less you pay the rent. And if you pay load more deposits, like quite a lot, then you basically don't pay any rent. I mean, of course, it's cheaper than buying the houses. That's why people do that. So either you don't have enough money yet for buying the house, or you don't want to get a house, you don't want to pay the tax and stuff, but still you don't want to pay the rent, then you can consider this option. And of course, you have enough deposits. So for instance, like this is a place where, this is about the $10,000 deposit and you pay about $400 per month. But if you like pay 9 times more or something like that, so this is like almost $100,000, then you don't pay any monthly rent. And this is even $220,000 then and also you don't pay the monthly rent. Of course, you need to pay the bill and stuff, but it's tremendously different than compared to you pay for each month and those. The problem is that some people don't get the deposit back. Imagine you put this much amount of money and you cannot get it back. This is a tragedy. So the problem is that, a lot of people are registered in the government as a business renters. And if they register, it's good for the government because they can track it more easy and they can charge more tax of the business owners. And also, they know what's going on in those like housing markets and those. So to encourage people to enroll and register, they did a lot of like they did give a lot of benefits, such as low tax and also, like give them more loan easily and stuff. So with those loans and those regulation, like I mean those tax benefit, they could expand a lot further, which went really, really crazy. And the thing is that they don't really care much about those deposit because, if one tenants finish the contract and have to go out, those business owner or the house owner should give out the deposit back. But because they only spend all the money to buying the new house and they wait for the new tenants come so that the new tenants will give the deposit to the owner, and with that, the owner can give that deposit to the former renter, those tenant. But, you know, things are not going always what people expected. So sometimes people don't go in, don't they or those business didn't go well, so they couldn't get the new tenants, and that's when there's an issue. And I think a lot of good, good those business keepers or the house owners have some money aside, and then they can basically give the deposit back. But there are some of the people who don't give a much care, and then they just say that, well, sorry, but I cannot give you the deposit back. So there are those blacklist of those bad people. The problem is that it's not open public, and the government made it mandatory to get those insurance for those tenants and the people who want to rent. But if the house owner is on the blacklist, then the insurance doesn't help. And it's not public. So basically, there's no way they can figure out, and then they will only figure out when the problem happens. So that's why those politicians try to make a bill that they want to open up those blacklist people, those bad property owners. Um, yeah, I really hope this is gonna work because, this is tremendous amount of money, and that's just tragedy. So that was it for the news. So 전세 is that type of thing, and 보증금 is deposit, and the 층간소음, I told you it's a noise between the floors. And 건설 is like construction. So 건설사 is construction companies. And 기술 is a technology, and 개발 is development or developing because it's 개발 중. So that was it for today. I hope this news were interesting to you, and thank you very much.